Hello everyone, I'm really excited for the new Master Rule revision. A lot of decks in the past few years have fallen by the wayside, so the ability to bypass link monsters and still make big boards is really cool in my opinion. So anyways, the last couple videos have been Tenyi, and I apologize if you're sick of Tenyi, but I bought this core and I thought that I would do as much with it as I could. So today is a January 2020 Tenyi Phantasm Spiral deck profile budget. So this is a pretty experimental deck in my opinion. Just like Tenyi and Yang Zing, Tenyi and Phantasm Spiral aren't perfect for each other, but there is enough synergy where it's worth a try and it's not the worst idea. Phantasm Spiral runs all normal monsters anyway, so pretty much ideal for Tenyi. So this is budget, no extravagance, no skill drain. So we start off with 2 Phantasm Spiral Dragons. So 3 of this card bricks in my opinion. So I thought even with the amount of cards that I have in the main deck, it's good at 2. So this is just your main offense and you're special summoning this card from the deck usually. Hard to special summon more than 1 off the deck in 1 turn. So I think it's good at 2. 3 Megalo Smasher X, so a 2000 attack beater that you can search off of Fossil Dig, triggers your field spell, allows you to summon the Tenyis too. Just normal monster works well in this deck. Another normal monster, 2 Dragoons of Draconia, same deal, works with the Tenyis, works with the Pacifist, but also can scale and search the Megalo Smasher X. 2 Vishuddha for our Tenyis, so this is just going to be one of the most useful generic ones in the Tenyi lineup, so I thought I included this one, even though I thought that the rank 4s and the level 4s were important in this strategy, so I included a lot of level 4s. So 2 Nahata, 2 Mapura, 2 Shathana. So a lot of times playing this deck, you might find that you don't have really any other play besides having 2 spare level 4s on the field and going into a rank 4. So I thought I would include more of these. I actually didn't include a Shuna because it locks you into worms, but as the boards, as you might find playing this deck, the boards aren't too impressive. You might just have a counter trap plus a rank 4. I did include this at Hara too because even though I'm not running any synchros, it can still recur from the banished spiral. So just important in the Tenyi part of this deck. For the spells, 3 Fossil Dig, so just searches your normal beat stick to be used with Pacifist, to be used with the Tenyis. 3 Pot of Duality. So just always going to be a good card just for the draw power, but also now that Demise is limited, this can help you dig for Demise. 3 Vessel, this card dumps any Tenyi, but can also dump Phantasm Spiral Dragon to be revived with the equip spells if you want. 3 Pacifist, so a very important card in this strategy because it allows you to use your traps as hand traps, so just surprise your opponent even more than normal, and also gets you a token too. So this is pretty much a beatdown strategy with some anti-meta counter trap, controlling the board elements, but you want to be beating down in this deck. 3 Super Poly, another anti-meta sort of aspect of this build here. So this is just a backup plan. Hopefully you can surprise your opponent by taking out their board while establishing your own board. 3 Heat Wave, so this card just makes up for this deck's general lack of power because it really stops your opponent from advancing their plays, locking them out of effect monsters. 2 Unexpected Die, so this is just a free special summon. Also triggers your Pacifist too because Pacifist works upon special in addition to just normal. 1 Flawless Perfection, so only 1 of this card because Pacifist is pretty much the main field spell that you want to see on your side of the field, but just protects your non-effect monsters, also gets you a little bit of draw power. 1 Lone Card of Demise, very important for the draw power. Special summoning doesn't happen every turn, but just unfortunate. It's a pretty big nerf to this deck that this card is limited. For the equip spells, 2 Grips, 1 Wave, and 1 Crash. So this is just to facilitate the beatdown and special summon Phantasm Spiral Dragon, usually from the deck, but sometimes from the hand or graveyard. And I've always liked Grip the best, so I included it too because, like I've been saying, this is a beatdown strategy, so you want to increase attack like this card does here, Grip. 1 Terraforming to search either Pacifist or Flawless Perfection. For the traps, 3 Power, 3 Battle. So whether you're negating effects and lowering attack or just popping cards, these cards are even stronger than usual because they can be activated from the hand, and just really controlling the board, and that's how you're keeping yourself in the game, is by activating these cards when your opponent doesn't see it coming. 3 Fists of the Unrivaled Tenyi. So this card is another very strong card in this deck because it works with non-effect monsters, so that includes the Tenyi links as well as the normal monsters in the main deck. So unlike Pacifist, which only works with normal monsters, so non-effect and normal are not necessarily the same thing. This card is actually an example of the synergy that these two archetypes do have because it works with the main deck as well as the extra deck. One Sea Stealth attack just to revive your Pacifists. One White Howling, which is a new card. I thought I'd experiment with it. If you control a water monster, so the Phantasm Spiral Dragon, Megalo Smasher X, or Shathana, and your opponent has a spell in grave, you can lock them out of spells for the turn. So it can be kind of okay. It's a new card. I thought I'd try it out. And one Metaverse, just to, just like Terraforming, but on your opponent's turn. So for the extra deck, 3 Monk. So just like in pure Tenyi, you're going to be going through multiple copies of this card, so you want to run it definitely definitely a 2, or probably a 3. So low attack, but still gives you a zone underneath it to possibly go into a rank 4. Plus you have that counter trap, so it can be a decent board, just not too powerful, as I've been saying. One Shaman and one Draco Masters. So Shaman can be used to climb into Berserker or Draco Masters. Draco Masters is pretty strong in this deck because there are so many non-effect monsters in the main deck, so you can actually pop multiple effect monsters your opponent controls. Plus it's got those arrows too. And 3 Berserker. So I really thought this was the focus of this deck because beating down is very important. It's got the highest attack of any of the Tenyi links, and you want to be having that non-effect monster on the field. So just some generic rank 4s: Exciton Knight, Baguska, Dweller, Tornado Dragon. If you really have one play that you're going for, and you only have 2 level 4s on the field, maybe you have the counter trap, you already used it, you don't have too much that you can do. The one play that you want to do is probably Exciton Knight. It blows up the board. This card can actually keep you in the game. It's really, really strong. Baguska is also good in this deck because you have a lot of normal monsters or non-effect monsters, so there's nothing to negate anyway. It's only stopping your opponent from activating effects. Dweller, Tornado Dragon, just obvious utility cards here. And the last 3 cards are the Super Poly targets. Just always a really huge play if you can actually pull it off. If you can manage to summon these monsters, it can be really impactful on the game, because not only are you getting rid of your opponent's monsters in a way that doesn't target or destroy, but you're also giving yourself a very strong monster, mostly in the case of these two, because you can just negate effects or just have massive attack along with a lot of other effects on this card. So that is the budget Tenyi Phantasm Spiral deck profile for January 2020. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.